Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the arena. I don't know if that's what we call it. OG versus Faceless, that's what we're doing now.
Dota Arena Championships.
Dota Arena, that's so not the name of it, but it at least fits. If we say it enough, fake news coming out from Ben right here. The Dota Arena Championships.
Don't talk to me about fake news. You're going
to... Triggered! Hey, you're already the one knocking on my bush before. Okay, that's actually...
that sounded wrong.
Yeah, it really...
What are you doing?
It really did. Like I've only seen Slacks for a couple of hours today. Like that shouldn't be like that level.
Oh, I found a way to trigger Slacks. It was great.
Oh, how?
Yesterday, he was just like talking to people, like trying to shoot ideas back and forth.
Yeah.
I was like, why are you trying to get other people to do your work for you? He actually was quite triggered from that. You know, it was just a joke. I was like, but he was visibly upset. Every single time I try and trigger Slacks a little bit more, because he's very good at triggering me when he wants to. But that was the only time that I've actually upset him mildly to
Okay, can everyone actually trigger Slacks harder? I don't know how many people we have watching this stream right now or tuning in inside the game, but can you go to Slacks on Twitter and just tweet at him?
His ideas are unoriginal. You heard he stole his ideas from other people. Like, he just keeps recycling the same old stuff. He's not trying harder in his view. He will get that, yeah.
Just send Ben, just put Ben Wu sends his regards.
What?
That's all.
Why am I involved in this?
You're the one that called it out.
That's Stop talking about the facts here, Toby.
Well, let's talk about the draft
Stop spreading
instead.
fake news, dude.
Fake news. All right, brilliant. Timber and Rubik being banned out here by OG. Rubik is, of course, one of the most go-to support heroes of the Faceless lineup. Even back when 7.00 came out, they were picking Rubik in the first two, and even throwing him as a mid laner if it worked out for him, but that was a long time ago. No Earthspirit, no Magnus, so no easy buff up and team fight for OG to win with, and OG just pick up the Centaur. That's how they'll start with it, and Ice is very, very happy to have his Nyx Assassin.
Nyx first is pretty decent, but I think it's only versus team. I guess they do pick Ember a lot. I do like it versus Ember and Storm. I guess OG actually picked both of those heroes a lot for Ana.
Mm-hmm.
Affirmative.
What? You have to back yourself up.
Affirmative.
Let me give myself a +1.
Affirmative.
Oh, hello, Invoker. Nice. Nice. Because this will be the mid Invoker for Faceless. There won't be any... every time I look at Faceless and I just say, oh, maybe this will be a black Invoker or something like that. It never is.
It's always Jabs.
Yeah, it's always Jabs.
Jabs is a pretty good Invoker. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So this actually gives Faceless a lot more kill potential to go with the next Assassin. If he can get the initial stun off and then into Sunstrike.
Mm-hmm.
Normally, though, you're going to look for like another stunner to come up from the safe lane from Faceless. We can still look at the two supports.
Another stunner.
That was so not
There's
it.
3 stunners here, dude. It's 2 stuns from Visage. Potentially 3.
Wrong team, though.
Another stunner.
Wrong team.
I'm bad at rapping.
Yeah, you really are.
I actually wasn't even trying to rap.
Like, have you got to go to the OD school for rap gods?
I'm not play-by-play, bro.
You could be, man.
I'm not good at rapping.
I've heard you play-by-play. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I can see what's going on.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, see, that's more than what I can do. I scream at the pretty lights. Do you know the first time I ever cast Dota, and it's like, I think it's appropriate that I tell this story, because the first time I ever cast Dota was actually a LAN event. I never actually cast it online before I cast it at a LAN event.
I'm so successful that the first time I cast was at a LAN event.
No. I was not successful. I'd been casting for 3 months, and I was brought over as a Call of Duty 4 caster to the WCG, and this just proved who WCG would bring in to cast your stuff. And they were like, yeah, do you know Dota? And I'm like, I've played a couple of pub games. And they're like, okay, you're the most qualified out of all the commentators we're bringing, so you're going to cast all the Dota games. I'm like, what? And I knew none of the abilities. This was in Warcraft 3 Dota, where you couldn't hover over a skill and see the name of it and everything it did.
You didn't know the names of the spells when you first casted?
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So
So you've cast it for 10 years and you still haven't learned?
wow, wow, just so many levels of fu.
It's all in good fun, Toby.
When I cast it, and luckily the audio recordings were so badly done that nothing of this was saved. But I would basically just describe things that were happening on the screen. And hilariously enough, most of the time I was actually close to the actual names of abilities. But I was a little bit off on some of them, and it sounded very odd, to say the least. But yeah,
Oh, you want to do that this game?
it was basically I see, I say kind of casting.
Oh.
So it was very fun.
We can just do that this game. Centaur uses his
It's really difficult, though.
Stampede,
He's
brave.
no, that's not how, you gotta say what you see.
Oh.
So you basically say like Invoker drops his flaming rock.
Oh God. Oh, so it's like people that have never even seen it.
Yeah, like you don't know any abilities of anything. You probably played Warcraft 3 at some point of your life. So you'd know the name of the hero, and that'll be all you get.
Wow, lucky you. We can hover nowadays.
Yeah, it was luxury. That was how I cast heroes on New Earth. I didn't watch the game for 6 months, and then whenever I forgot an ability, I just hovered over and looked at it. Thank you very much for that trip. It's terrible times for me.
You seem traumatized.
Oh, it was possibly the most laziest time in my casting career.
That's saying something.
Yeah, that actually does. Like, actually, yeah, because normally I'm not very lazy in my casting, like ever.
All right, back to
Yeah,
the draft.
let's-
Alchemist
let's
TA
talk about the game, right? That's what we're here for, right?
Oh, I was watching
not story
it the whole
time.
There wasn't anything super
it's-
strange.
It's all pretty standard. The Undying is probably the only other question mark, but it is something.
Yo, they
Faceless-
love Undying.
Yeah, Faceless have done it multiple times. And the Warlock fills the same role, right? Like it's that team fight control and lane presence that you get from the Undying.
They don't have a good way to deal with Stampede though. Stampede is great. I think Centaur has won most of his games here at this tournament. I think like before last series he was 4-0. And, he gets nerfed constantly, but he's still godly.
Easiest way, man, is just survive and then pull them back. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
What?
Against Stampede, right? That's all you
What
want to
about
do.
it? Survive.
Yeah, survive and then turn around and fight them again.
Oh no, I'm talking about counter initiation.
Okay, isn't that just when you? Isn't that just when you use tornado? Like,
Ideally, but everyone's hasted. Wait, does it put them? It puts them at 550 now, right? Yeah. I actually didn't realize that. The 522 to 550 move speed was a buff for Centaur. No one really considered it. It's like,
yeah.
but now that I'm actually like talking about it, I'm like, oh, it actually buffs Centaur. Everyone moves 28 move speed faster, which is kind of important. 28 moves is a lot. It's like a talent. That's like a good talent. The bad talents are like 15. A good talent is like 28. Huh, interesting. It's obvious that the move speed is 550 now if you read the patch notes, but it's just, some of these small interactions you don't really consider. Anyways.
Kunkka.
Oh, another way to move faster. Kunkka Rum. Earthshaker's a good way to keep him in place.
This actually gives an insane amount of team fight. Like, how much damage you even do. Like, when Kunkka throws out his ship and Centaur triggers his ultimate.
Not much. But you do have you just need to be able to survive until the boat wears off. But that's hard. They have no like real good defensive supports that are good at kind of running in and out of the fight or counter initiate. I guess Warlock kind of.
Faceless kind of looks like the team where they jump in and they start the fight.
Yep.
Instead of OG, like you got Earthshaker, Warlock, like Nyx Assassin's going to be your initial setup as well. Like
Sunstrike, Meteor Blast. All this is like first 4 seconds of the fight. Whereas Kunkka Boat, Gravekeeper's Cloak, and Stampede with Ags is a lot of mitigation for the first 4+ seconds of the fight. So if they execute correctly and can stun multiple heroes so they can't pop their defense cooldowns, I can see this working out for Faceless. But, back to the Drow Visage.
Yeah, well, she got banned in the 5th when OG tried to do this last time.
I like Drow Ranger. Their anti-push is actually terrible on Faceless. Fissure is not good anti-push because that cooldown is so long, and it's one of your biggest teamfight spells.
And Black's the last hero.
Yeah.
Like, it's the one position here they're looking to fill. Unless we're looking at, like, a damage-dealing position Earthshaker.
No.
Hey,
Black's a little bit eccentric, but not that eccentric.
who was it yesterday that was trying to talk it up where you get the double I think it was Fogged, who was trying to talk up the double totems. So your damage output is actually insane.
What's a double totem?
With the talent upgrade on Earthshaker, you actually get 2 totems. Basically, like, straight after the other with the cooldown timer on it. So, like, your lockdown and your damage output is actually huge on him.
Yeah, you would need, I think, some way to buff him up, though. Like Magnus, for example. Magnus Shaker sounds great.
But then you'd have to run a safe lane Magnus. And now Lina comes up from OG, so we've seen the Chinese already using it a hell of a lot with the early Bloodstone Lina and the almost non-existent death time. It seems like it's OG's turn to run that Lina mid.
Oh, Lina has so much attack speed, too. That synergy with the precision aura. Oof.
Yeah, they're going to rip through buildings.
They really are. Faceless, I'm very scared for their early game. Last game, they had a great early game, a great line to deal with the early game. It just kind of fell apart as their Bloodseekers. This game, it seems completely flipped.
Do you like to say, like, hey, Black, you got to play like a Naga Siren? Like, we need to have the Song of the Siren to slow this game down.
Naga, you will just lose in 20 minutes.
Well, what else do you do?
You had to fight them head on with, I don't know.
Yeah, with what? Like, you're not going to jump in there with a Phantom Assassin. She's going to die almost instantly.
Gyro, something like that. Some early team fighter. Lifestealer is not good here.
Does Juggernaut like, get completely destroyed when the Visage?
PA is okay. PA is not great, but it's definitely
I could see
playable.
PA getting nuked. Like, that's my issue.
You can jump on Visage or Drow Ranger. You have a good team fight around you. I would. PA's not bad. Slark.
Slark's already banned.
Oh, Slark's banned. Okay.
Yeah.
So what else do you have? Venge would have been good. You can swap the Drow Ranger, and that's a very good way to start off a fight. I don't know. Gyro Jug is kind of my only 2 good options, I think, for Black. I'm sure there's more, but I can't think of any off the top of my head right now.
Some with good D push.
Troll's not bad. I actually do like Troll. Troll's pretty decent. They don't have anyone to synergize. Invoker does not think. Oh, Spec. Oh, they are. Oh. Whew.
This could really bite him in the ass, just looking at the draft.
Yes.
Like we did see some spec play earlier today, which was quite decent. In fact, Spectre was even running an aggro tri-lane, and they found the damage out of that. But
I think Spec is going to get aggro tri here. Earthshaker is a very weak support. Especially in try-on-try situations.
So what, you're actually thinking like you're going to run the Centaur and Nyx on the top lane, and then just put like Dro, Kunkka, Visage on the off lane?
Sure. Visage is great in tri-lanes. Visage is one of the best tri-lane heroes.
I suppose, like, what's the Earthshaker? Like, Warlock should still be really great at harassing out the lane. But if you got a...
He's not good on 3-on-3, though. Because Shadow Word is great on, like, 2-on-1, 3-on-1, but when it gets to 3 heroes, like, Fatal Bonds is like, okay.
I suppose, what are you going to do? You're going to dodge? You're going to put the Nyx Assassin on bottom lane up against this? You're probably just going to lose the Nyx Assassin straight away.
Well, we'll see.
It seems like a very rough
I do think you
draft.
dodged, though. I think you kind of put your Spectre away from the action. You're just like, you know, Drow Rangers might take a tower or 2, but you need Spectre to get,
But the away from the action's only going to last for 10 minutes.
The Spectre needs whatever she can get.
It seems like a very rough end, no matter how you look at it.
Spectre is a hero that can get on top of Drow Ranger. So let's look at why Spectre is good here. Spectre's tanky, so you won't get bursted down by Lina.
Yeah.
Spectre's good at chasing down heroes and a decent amount of move speed, so Stampede's not the biggest engine in the world. It's good at causing a lot of chaos in the fights, which Drow Ranger does not like. You do not want anyone close to you as Drow Ranger. You just want to be able to shoot from like 700 Ranger away with your Dragon Lance. That's ideal. So all these things are good, and it's also very, very good late game because sometimes you might have some scaling issues, especially with right click if like Nyx assassinates your offlaner. But downside, you get crushed in lane, and you're terrible at anti-push without items, and it does not look like it's going to be a game where Spectre will be able to get a lot of items. However, they have placed in Reservoir Ward deep on the bottom lane. They did use a smoke.
I like how they're both trying to get the wards down.
Yeah.
Dang, did they scout that out? Did they scout that maneuvering from Kunkka? Like, G-Rex came up and he still had an Observer Ward on him, but that Dire Observer was right on top of the shrine.
Oh, they pinged it out. They know where it is.
Oh, it's almost the same as before, and they put a sentry to the... Okay, wrong buttons.
Well, those 2 sentries cover the entirety of that small camp.
Yeah.
So
they know they're going to get their pull. They know they're going to get the early experience.
But it was a sentry ward expended for a sentry ward. It's not the value sentry for knobs. So it's and not the best for them.
But they still keep their own Observer Ward
another
down.
smoke. Oh, this is aggressive. No-tail Jerax Fly going for...
They had the vision. Why not? Like,
Going
all they have to
for
do
Invoker?
is just wrap around.
XY's there, though.
They'll go for anyone who goes for the rune. And Jabs, yeah, you could taunt all you want as the Invoker. You're dead. He'll run back in. The smoke will break. The torrent's right on the money. And Jabs has nowhere to go but down. The Sunstrike's coming in, but they all split up. And they ensure that No-Tail gets the last hit. So the Draw Ranger will be buffed up. They don't take the rune as well, but they will be able to take the rune from their own jungle. But that's a huge start. Now Ana has more space in the mid.
And he got the block off, too. Look at that creep wave positioning. That is possibly one of the worst as a melee or range-on-range matchup.
The upside is the Jabs doesn't lose any money from it. Like, he already bought up his salve after he grabbed the rune. Then he was running back into the mid. And when he TP'd him, that's the only money he does expend. And I get a funny feeling that was actually purchased by one of his supports and not him. But you are right. The lane position is going to cost him.
He does have 2 range creeps against him, though, so it should be okay. Oh, Ana actually go for the level 1 stun. You don't see that very often. Normally it's Slave, Fiery Soul Slave. Slave cast point is way shorter, and it's also way longer range, too, so you generally just use it to get a last hit and constantly harass the heroes. For Light Strike Array, the radius is a little bit too small in order to get a creep and the hero at the same time. It's very good at like anti-range creep denies, which is super important in mid.
S4 barely survives the Shadow Word on bottom lane. Black and Nurse really trying to get up in his face. S4 is still able to get a lot of experience out of this lane, so he's perfectly alright with what's going on. The Observe Ward that got dewarded out by XY, so Vision is kind of already their way, and you can see G-Rex trying to like repair the situation by running forward and getting a ward a little bit further to the north. Trying to force a sentry ward out to also stop that. And S4's going to find some extra life. These tangos as well, Salve is just not cutting it. He needs to have his Tranquil Boots done. He's already having to burn the shrine 2 minutes in.
That's fine. Warlock Spec is actually one of the stronger Spectre lanes. I think Lich Spectre and Warlock Spectre are the 2 strongest Spectre lanes. So it's not a surprise that he's struggling a little bit. He also has to worry about Sunstrike.
Well, I keep my eyes on this Drow Ranger. Mainly how much space she's able to get. Like, how quick does that level 6 arrive for No-Tail?
I like how the supports aren't soaking up the experience, though. That's one of the main important things about playing a Drow Ranger lane.
Nice fissure. Stun to follow up from Ice, but then Torrent. Spine Carol's caused a little bit of issues to Sunstrike. Fly turns around to stand his ground and fight. They're trying to use the double damage on XY to make this work, but No-Tail, he went for the 2 points up in the cold arrows, making this very difficult for Nyx Assassin to have any chance of escaping. The only chance he has to deny himself, he's trying to time it up perfectly to take the damage from the trolls, but it won't work. Not when G-Rex is able to hit the perfect Torrent.
Jerax actually TP's at her shrine. Pretty efficient. Yeah, that's...
It's funny that he TP'd to that shrine when they're just going to trigger up the other shrine right next to both Ana as well as Fly. So they're a little bit more odd.
That happens. Just not communicating 100%, but I don't know. There's always that sort of thing in team chat. Some people like to keep it as minimum as possible so the really important things can get across.
Ice is taking a lot of damage here. He doesn't want to turn around and battle up against Centaur. And S4 is very happy with this. Does the damage, TP's out. Can actually get by both his Ring of Protection.
No Sunstrike was used.
Yeah.
They really needed that. I think it would have been a kill. 162, I'm pretty sure he was in kill range for that. Oh, early game, Ana getting the better of the mid lane. Probably because of that level 1 maneuver from the side of OG. Spectre very high on the CS. That is also pretty good for them. Looks like Nexus Centaur are about the same. How are the supports faring? Level 2 on Warlock, whereas we have level 2 on the Visage, and Kunkka is level 3.
Hello. XY picked up, thrown back. He was X-marked into Torrent. That's what put him into a bad position, but Ana being cold snap needs to get out of vision. But now with a frostbite hitting him, the soul assumption's there from Fly, and the fissure is still not enough to kill off Ana. And it was the Forged Spirit inside the pit, giving that extra vision. But X-Mark spotted Torrent. That's XY very much dead. And OG now 5-0 on the board. This is a lot better early game for them.
JRX making the moves in the early game, and Visage is also just very, very strong. They try to contest it with 2, which I'm a little bit surprised about, just because Earthshaker is just not the strongest in dual lane unless you have like a super badass offlaner, but Nyx Assassin is more a defensive offlaner.
They're going in deeper. Ana doesn't have his level 6 just yet, but with an X-Mark and Torrent... Wait, hang on. He's X-Marking himself, but doesn't have enough mana for Torrent.
I think he might have wanted a TP. But
he had the mana for the TP, just decided not to trigger it.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to drop, but I'm actually not sure. Other than
he just put an Observer Ward on top of an Observer Ward, so that's not going to last very long.
Spectre very close to level 6, going for the phase boost and the magic stick. Very early game centric build. If you hold off for Radiance, it's just not going to work out well for you because Dry Ranger and the rest of OG have had a pretty good start, so you can expect your towers to start falling pretty soon. Ana clearing up for that Laguna. Can they actually get a kill on Jabs? Yeah, there's no one in around. Probably not.
There's the Jirax TP. Back up to top lane. Fly's making his way over.
Oh, he's going for a phase.
Notel's only half a level away from having his level 6.
Oh, he showed with the stun.
Well, so with no stun, does he actually have enough mana? He's got enough mana for a Spike Carapace. At just over, but now silenced up, the Spike Carapace will hit in. Fly has a lot of charges up in that Soul Assumption, and with one last attack in from Notel, they'll find the kill. Fissure block really keeps Fly out and Jirax in the river, but no one else is rotating up to really capitalize on the situation.
You mentioned that the Zero Ward is going to die, but they had full vision behind the tower and knew that no one was there to save Ice. Wasn't able to pop the Carapace. Very nicely timed Gust coming from Notel. That will make the score a 6-0. Faceless. Potentially they can kill very soon. Level 6 is up on Spectre, however. He does not have enough for both Haunt and the Spectral Dagger. So who can they actually kill with it? I would say mid's probably the best. Invoker with Cold Snap plus Spectre on top of her.
Onto the Lina.
Very good, yeah.
But at the same time, like if you commit too heavily, too far, Lina's just going to nuke you down.
You got to get kills.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I don't disagree with it.
One level of dispersion is enough to
Jirax.
Kill Spec.
He's trying to juke it in the Roche bit. But he's got the movement speed. Just basic boots is enough. Top lane, Sunstrike, right onto the Dro Ranger. It says Notel hits level 6. You expect him to be the aggressor. But Black jumps up, finds the kill on the safe laner, and then we'll have to TP straight back down to bottom lane.
You got mangoed from Ice.
I believe so.
Yeah. What a bro.
Well, Ice is getting pretty close to getting his Arcane Boots. With that kill up on top, he gets more space to farm. And his net worth is only like 600 gold behind that of the Dro Ranger. In fact, the amount of money on Notel is quite low. And you see Notel switch the lane. Like, he comes down to bottom lane, you got a decent creep wave, you got S4 with Stampede up and running, and they're just going to force the tier 1 tower on bottom. No Spectral Haunt, it's a license to fight. Oh, Korea. And now Fly's in trouble too. Sunstrike after the 2 stuns. No way for Fly to survive that.
Well, they use a scan on bottom. Black is scouted out. His TP is down, though, so he's going to have to sit there for 20 seconds-ish?
Yep, and just burn his Spectral Dagger, so he has to stand in the tree lines on the side. Now, you got no way for OG to get there, but they don't care. Spectre is removed from the fight for too long, and that's a tier 1 tower then. I think Jirax is actually looking for him with Torrent.
I don't even think they can get there to kill him, though. They'd have to Quelling Blade like 10 trees. But they know that he did use his TP to get down here.
Yeah. Well, there goes the tower. It's a little bit of a miss on the last hit. It was only the creep that took it.
Midas still not out for Invoker, but 9 minutes. He's purchasing his recipe right now. It's pretty decent for him.
Not too shabby.
Not too shabby indeed. Looks like Ana will be going the Bloodstone first build. The norm nowadays.
Yep. Is that the Dominator on the Courier? As I just completely misclick it. Yeah, it is. So the Dominator is coming down for No-Tail. Might want to TP up to the top lane just a bit. With a Drow Ranger, if any Tier 1 tower is still standing, especially with a start like this for No-Tail. Like, you want them all down in 15 minutes, by the 15-minute mark.
Sai searching for potential prey. It is S4 though. Sunstrike, they're going to need a lot more than just a Sunstrike in order
It's
to
the Earthshaker Fissure. That's what's going to hold him here. A little bit longer, but S4 gets the Stampede off and gets away. So Spectral Haunt gets wasted and no kills. Yes, you burn Stampede, but with no Spectral Haunt, No-Tail feels very confident to do his push, and they're looking to the mid. And this is Fly, who's still short of level 6 himself, so there's no Familiars to just buff this push-up. But that's why they have the Wild Wing. Tornado up makes it very difficult for Faceless to get in close and stop this push.
They even have a Observer Ward behind the tower still.
Jirax finds his target. Ana, he's got the extra nuke available, but doesn't throw out Laguna. Had more than enough to kill him with base abilities. And goodbye top lane. S4 gets picked off there.
I did like how he used a Carapace to try and line him up after a return when he broke the Vendetta last time, but nope, not really able to connect. Lina doing Lina things, trying to pick off nuts in the bottom lane, and she's just such a menace with Drow Aura.
How much is she actually doing? She's doing a decent amount.
It's just her attack speed and her range is so high that it's very easy for her to kill stuff. I wonder what talent she's going to pick up. So she actually takes the respawn time. I've actually seen a fair amount of people take the Light Strike Array, but respawn time is really good.
It's what we've seen from the Chinese. With the Bloodstone and the respawn time, it's instant up. Like, you have like 3 Linas, and you may need her. The Rock will drop, the Fatal Bonds will connect him, and Ana, not a healthy man, tries to nuke down the Nyx Assassin, and Ana's taking too much damage because No-Tail's copping it, so is Fly. They just have to run and let that saddle regeneration do the work, but Ana, 40, trying to bottle charge through it, 20. Finally, the Fissure will connect. And it connects on Fly to ensure that kill, which gets the Lina in return. She's already back into the world of the living. And this is without a Bloodstone running down the bottom lane. And this is when you have to back up if you're Faceless, because if you don't, that X mark spot's going to pull him back over with the ship and Laguna Blade available. They can just kill off Black, not even having to use it. Sorry, Laguna Blade is down. So they get the kill on the spec. And ISI starts running away. Ana with that high movement speed. Torrent won't be able to connect, but they do have that vision on where Ice is.
They need the X. Oh.
And they got it. Yep. Say goodbye to Nuts. Bloody him and his name having Ice in the end. I will reprimand him.
Respawn time is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why would you take the Light Strike Array when you can have that?
Because you don't expect to die. But as Lina, especially versus the Nyx in the game, I think you're going to die a lot. S4 gets jumped. Same deal. Does the Carapace on a return? No way to outplay that if you're Centaur.
You've committed Echo Slam. I think they realized they need just a little bit more damage to kill the Centaur.
Better safe than sorry. And he has raindrops, so, you know.
But I'm looking at bottom lane again. Like, there's no Spectral Haunt, there's no Echo Slam, there's no Rock. So No-Tail knows he can just solo push the Tier 2 tower down and still take the objective he wants. And so far, Faceless still haven't taken a Tier 1 tower. The TP comes up towards top lane, so OG, they continue to lose players on this top lane defense, but they haven't lost any of their Tier 1 towers yet. Maybe now they do lose S4. Sunstrike will connect. Ice can't get over the other side of the Fissure, so Stampede forward. No-Tail will arrive up on the top lane. If he's got Gust of Valor, can push him back with a double edge. Nyx Assassin down very, very low. That last arrow, not enough. He dropped down to 6 HP. Black under the tower. A Frostbite. Another stun. Black just wants to kill him off. The damage. He may have enough Spike Carapace. Ice will survive and TP out after killing off No-Tail. At the same time, you do lose jabs in the mid lane. To a side gank out from OG.
Big plays from both sides. Ice and S4 going at it.
But then the D-push of the dominated creep.
They're doing a really good job of controlling the tower momentum in this game, I would say. Like, this is exactly what you want as a Drow Ranger. Being able to defend all those towers and take down all the towers and just open up the map for your entire team to farm. Eventually take down Roshan and just make this a much faster game than a Spectre and a Warlock want to play against. Like, when have we seen a rock drops? It's been a while.
Yeah.
When are they going to be able to use the Haunt? Like, Haunt's pretty long cooldown, 140 at the first level, and you just definitely do not want to give her time to find Radiance. And I do see the quick buy Spectre just going for straight Radiance after the Fate's Urn.
XY is going to fissure out. Ice to the neighborhood. He's going to try and just ship and torrent his way to safety, but that's not going to work for Jirax. It will be nuts to find the kill on him. And they knew he was coming over. The Observer and Sentry Ward up next to Bounty Rune saw it all.
Black says, get this Centaur away from me.
I need space to farm. Doesn't exist at the moment. And the Dire Observer Ward actually is cut off by the tree line, so it sees the back of the Tier 2 tower in mid, but doesn't see the rotation of jabs to the bottom lane. But